Hello, YouTube. 3, 2, 1. I can count.
Backwards even.
Uh, 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 uh.
That's appropriate since it's a damn show, I suppose. Huh? I make a funny joke.
We're notifying viewers that you're live, but you're shadow banned, so we're going to throttle your ass to death.
To death.
Yesenia Nunez, welcome. Hamilton Cartagena, Julie Bow, welcome. Glad to see you here, Julie Bow. Says, hi, beautiful Angel Deal and beautiful Father D.
Hello.
Yesenia Nunez, we are doing fantastic. She says, hello, how are you doing? I guess I shouldn't speak for you. How are you doing?
I'm actually all right.
All right.
Yeah.
Gabriel, welcome. Mamu Morning, welcome. Alejandra Yepes, welcome. Angela, welcome. Kimberly Jones, welcome. Sarah Heasley, welcome. Brian, welcome to the live stream. Edwin, pleasure to have you. Rochelle, my dear, hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. Michael Shelby, Z Bishop. Mama Christie says, hello, boys. I mean men.
So I just saw a handle which was like so maybe unintentionally but so simply cyberpunk. It was her handle was Better Made Becky. Like reconstruction had been done.
Yeah, she must have got her upgrades.
Yeah.
Katie says, oh, check these two gorgeous men on my TikTok. Thank you, Katie. Much appreciated. That Anonymous, good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you? Better, not deserved.
Yep. Better now that you're here, man.
Glad to have you here, Bat Anonymous. Thank you for showing up. Hope you're having an awesome Sunday. Yesenia Nunez, thank you for the string of red hearts. She says, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Colleen Russell, thank you for the follow. Yesenia Nunez says, how is your weekend going? Busy, fast,
Yep.
breakneck speed, always.
Mama Christie says, hello, boys. I mean men. Hi, Christy. How are you?
Yaya Drifts, thank you for the follow. Bulbasaur says, what's up, home slices?
How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Doing all right, my friend. Glad to see you here. Julie Bow says, always look forward to your lives. It makes me happier on the weekends. As rough week, you're both amazing. Julie Bow, thank you so much. You are very kind.
Yeah, hopefully we take the edge off of your week. Sorry, it was rough.
Truly appreciate that. That's humbling. I'm not sure. I wonder if I'll ever have that moment where it sinks in that we help people.
Do what we can, yeah?
Yeah. Bat Anonymous, you're most welcome. Stephen O says, do vampires start to look like Nosferatu the older they get? God damn, I hope so.
Well, so the Nosferatu, what? How do we know he wasn't converted when he was like 95? Which is why he's stuck that way.
Yeah. It's a keen insight. You
You're
remember?
supposed to have arrested age when you turned, right?
Yeah.
So Nosferatu must have been 102.
Yeah. And maybe there's some sort of countervailing effect, whereas before a certain threshold, it beautifies you, beyond which it has kind of a deleterious.
Decrepifies you.
Yeah, kind of fucks you up for a minute.
Well, yeah, I think Nosferatu was past that threshold when he turned and possibly part goblin.
Mm-hmm.
I see the ears and schnoz on that guy.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Schnoz. Do you remember that old made-for-TV movie? What is that? What the hell was that called? From the 1970s. Salem's Lot.
Oh yeah, Stephen King. Right after Stephen King story. Yeah, short story. I think it was.
Mr. Barlow, the vampire in that, modeled off Nosferatu. To this day, in my opinion, that is the spookiest vampire makeup I've ever seen.
Right on.
So, I mean, if I could walk around looking like that, scaring fools.
Right. Halloween's coming up. Why don't you do it then?
Maybe.
Maybe. Different type of gray man.
Yeah.
Clear man.
Yeah. like clear the room, man.
Right.
Teej, our dear Teej, who we love and adore, she says,
Yep.
"Oh, look, it's my favorite people in the world."
Yep. Hello, loved one.
Teej, I just adore you with all of the energies of my soul. That Anonymous says, "Weekends always go by too fast."
They do.
It has been a long time since I had the feeling of, yeah, it's the weekend. Um, I have some manner of work that I have to do every day. Weekends, I don't know, man. What are those?
So there's an old, it almost like, since weekends don't matter, the opposite, the antithesis of that, since you're working too much, weekends don't matter, right?
Yeah.
Primus had a song, and I can't remember exactly which one it was, but he said this line. He says, "It's a funny thing about weekends when you're unemployed, they don't mean quite so much, except you get to hang out with your working friends." So I mean, you're on the opposite end of that, where you're working so much it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
and he was working not at all, so it didn't really matter, except he gets to hang out with his working friends.
The upside is that if I've really ultimately I've got to have something to do. If I stagnate too long, that for me that's not good.
Demons start crawling up
Head
your
not
back.
right.
Yeah.
Isis Rochelle, our sister Rochelle says, "How you deal, Padre and my coven? Love you." Thank you, Rochelle. Truly appreciate it. We love you. Hope you're having a great day with your DL.
Yeah. Welcome, welcome.
Mama Christie says, "Welcome everyone to the live."
Yes, absolutely.
Nadia, thank you for the follow. You have a beautiful name. Donna Jean, thank you for the rose, and thank you for the follow, my dear. Truly appreciate it. And thank you for sharing the live stream as well, Donna Jean. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. Pleasure to have you hanging out with us. Teach says, "I'm also part goblin."
No, you, my dear, are part Fae. That's apparent, especially. I mean, look at you.
I mean, look at you.
Yeah, it's 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 plain to see.
Yeah. Stephen O says, "When did you get turned?" It began 142, coming up on 43 years ago. But I slept more or less as a, there's not even a word for it, quasi-human state for many, many years. Awakened in 1974, September of 74.
This is a curious comment to me. Donna Jean says, "If you don't puke like if you don't puke, you're like walking nausea, you know." Yikes.
I mean, it seems like a profound, simple bit of wisdom.
Or a very,
right?
Yeah.
If you don't puke, you're like walking nausea.
I mean,
you don't want that, so puke and get it
like,
over with.
Yeah, it's like almost like, are you trying to say like just the world just constantly makes you sick? Because we can relate, I guess, right?
Yeah, I don't know how to parse that one out.
Yeah. Shed some light if you would, Donna Jean, because we're speculating off in the weeds maybe over here.
I mean, look at the profile pic. You know, she's in on
a secret.
Yeah. She's in on the joke, and maybe you know it, maybe you don't, but she's smiling like she knows something you don't.
Right. And don't tell anybody.
Yeah. Candace Casey, welcome back. Candace, pleasure to have you with us. She says, "Hey guys, hangover gone."
That's awesome.
Did you just have to suffer through it, or were you able to concoct something to assist you?
And some remedy that may have been suggested yesterday, hopefully. Stephen O'Math. So how does it work? To get drained and then drink vampire blood? For some, it works that way.
Not usually in modern times. Things were messy back in the day. Messy and dirty and brutal.
Loud and nasty, that's the only way it sticks.
Candace Casey, remember me from yesterday? We sure do, my dear. Pleasure to have you back in the live stream.
And in better health.
Yes. Fully unhungover. Thomas Hull says, "Why are you wearing lipstick?" Well, I'll tell you like this, bro.
Hey, Bulbasaur already kind of got you covered. Why aren't you, Thomas? Yeah, just like that. Tell you like this, bro.
Why the hell not? Candace Casey, IV nurse for fluids. And she follows that up by saying, "Never doing that again."
Oh wow, that's a
That,
bad hangover if you have to
yeah,
get an IV.
yeah, that had to have been a bad one. It's been decades now, but the worst one that I remember having, at one point, I, it's been so long, but I remember death pulling at me,
Ugh,
and I knew that's what it was, and that if I allowed my eyes to close,
that's it.
I would never open them. It was a very strange. It wasn't a painful feeling.
Teetering
It was
feeling.
yes, yeah, teetering. Uh, Not painful. Just you knew this was something that if it was allowed to complete, it was finality,
Yeah,
irreversible.
just needed the last permission of the eyes to shut.
Yep. That yes. Oh, I was so sick. Didn't stop me though,
Yikes,
because winners don't quit and quitters don't win.
right? With that type of pudding.
Forgive me, my Lord, for I have sinned again and again. Uh, Cutie Nightmare. Cutie Nightmare Uwu.
Yeah, yeah.
Lipstick looks good. Can't deny that. Thank you. This sounds funny. Thank you, Cutie. Appreciate that. I get asked about it quite a bit. It's from the brand Mynina. Mynina. I have no idea what a Mynina is, but it sounds like a body part you don't discuss at the dinner table.
Yikes.
Big yikes. It's $4.99 on Amazon, $4.99 USD, marketed as liquid eyeshadow, but
Or the creator named it after the love of their life, named Nina. Say, my Nina.
Mynina.
Yeah.
That could well be.
Yeah.
I surprisingly I didn't think of that.
I'm just a hopeless romantic, so my mind goes there a lot.
Chaz Fisher says, "Hi, I believe Mercury Kings DL Father D. DL Father D. How are you guys?" Chaz, pleasure to see you here again, my friend. I'm doing fantastic.
Yep, same here. Good to see you.
Tej says, "Teetering,
Constantly.
teetering on the edge."
Yep.
Candace Casey says, "I saw a tribute band for Judas Priest, Motley Crue, and Ozzy. Damn
So,
Fireball."
oh, that was when she got
I
sick.
guess so, yeah.
So was that like a tribute band that they could play all three of those bands covers, or it was a tribute band for each band independently?
Stephen O'Math says, "I really want to be a vampire, haha." Yeah, that's not an uncommon sentiment.
It's not all it's cracked up to be, but
Yeah, it's often a monkey's paw proposition, if you know what I mean.
what did you say? Shitty drivers and plumbers crack for the rest of your life? For all eternity is what
Yeah,
you said.
yeah.
No thanks. But too late for us now.
All life is ups and downs, and so you're just ensuring a lot more ups and downs.
Yep.
There's a really interesting line from Armand in the film Interview with a Vampire. I don't think he said it in the book. The movie was better than the book. I have nothing against Anne Rice. I just felt her novels were a bit overwrought, but whatever. Anyway, at one point, Armand says, "You don't know how many lack the stamina for immortality." That's it.
Or the foresight for avoiding it.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, let's assume that we all get turned. Everybody in the coven, let's say, for example, for shits and giggles. Why the hell not? And then eventually, these fragile human beings gonna die out, man, one way or another, and we're gonna be stuck with no food until the sun swells too much. That's gonna be billions of years of suffering for what, a few thousand years of immortality. Net loss.
Yeah. So most check out after a few decades. Pat Anonymous says we all sin DL. Some are worse sins than others.
Hey, I know that firsthand, brother. Believe you me.
I I caught a whiff of wet dog. Did you?
I did too. Yeah.
Swampy,
so
deep
let's-
south
So,
wet
so
dog.
let's just skip it. Yeah, it's weird that we can't get that guy to say something different. Just like I said, he's campaigning for a
Yeah.
public office or something. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cutie Nightmare says, "Ha ha ha! You can just call me Nightmare." Oh, okay, got it. Nightmare it is. Bulbasaur, I believe my Nina is the lips you don't put lipstick on, but as a man, I'm not sure. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Ooh, yikes. Yikes. Bulbasaur. Oh shit. Yeah. Okay. Whoa, man. That was like, hey, up here. Boom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I didn't catch that at first. I said, yeah, slipped that one right through.
Or maybe inadvertently you do.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to yuck anybody's yum, but sheesh.
Nightmare, thank you for sharing the live stream, my friend. Much appreciated. Misha says, love coming across your lives, makes my whole weekend. Misha, thank you so much. And it makes my weekend getting this kind of love and appreciation from you guys. In fact, I could say screenshot.
And then Candace Casey answered my question about the cover bands. I guess each band covered Motley Crue, Ozzy, and Judas Priest respectively. That's kind of cool. They all had three different cover bands.
I'm not sure I could, how long I could do that. On one hand, you'd probably have a lot of work, working, paying gigs. I'm not sure how rewarding it would be being in a cover band,
Well,
but whatever,
so
to each
so
your own.
so right, exactly. So like the musicians that seek uh, that project idea out, I'm sure have been resigned to be able to do that because it's maybe one of their passions or something. They actually at least don't mind
Yeah,
long term.
yeah, for sure.
Because I mean, and that's
Would they
not
be
and that's,
doing
and
it
that's
otherwise?
right, and that's not my cup of tea. But I mean, I like doing some covers. I mean, but I don't like covering just like one band all the time. I like variety in my musical experience and exploring. So I mean,
How do you like your coffee?
I like it black just like my metal
Oh,
with the bass, the run, the mic, and the
the
treble.
treble.
Yeah. In fact, and funny that particular tune that we're quoting, that was the first song I ever learned how to play on bass guitar. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I think the first one I ever fiddled with was Stand By Me.
Oh.
It's crazy I still remember that. Jen with Gems. Jen is awesome. And
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about her.
she,
Survivor, right?
yep,
I remember.
Survivor.
I remember. That's where I'll leave it.
Yeah.
But I remember.
Good friends with a lot of the artists and musicians that we
Oh, that's
admire.
right. Yes.
And she
sang one of his covers today, as a matter of fact.
Yep. Uh, you just said it, and I'm blanking on it.
What song?
Yeah.
Love Dump.
Love Dump. Yep. Which was, I guess, their first one where they crystallized their sound.
Yeah, it's a great tune.
Jen says, and her business is gems,
Oh, cool.
like really fucking cool ones.
No.
Jen, I'll have to reach out to you. I'm curious. You may have something that I may want to pick up. Maybe some kind of pendant, something I can put on a chain or something. She says, "Hi, Deal. What are you guys talking about today?" Jen, just shooting the breeze, just about anything. We don't. I'm not against having a topic. We've just never really done that.
We usually let our audience or our coven pitch ideas to us, and we just run with it.
Yeah. Yep.
Find it more fun that way.
I am interested to hear people's opinions on, and I'm hesitant to do this because I don't want to derail the discussion from anything you guys want to talk about. So actually, with that in mind, I think I'll just
come on,
shut my yap.
No,
shut your yap. Beat it, you runt.
Coming soon, nothing.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean that's a good point. Whatever. Okay. Point taken. I am curious what people think about all of the UFO stuff in the news. I personally, I'm pretty Joe Friday, agnostic, just the facts. At this point, the government has acknowledged there's something there that appears to defy the laws of physics. They claim to not know what it is, and I think that's the extent of what the facts are. But yeah, sound off if you have an opinion. If not, that's cool too. Candace Casey says was pretty cool. I know Metal Gods, was it?
Oh yeah,
They were quite popular. I don't think
they did mostly Judas Priest covers too. I remember.
Yeah. Stephen O'Math says, "Long life and powers, yes please." Haha.
All right. Burn up with the sun. Let's do it.
The sun can be tolerated, but you do have to take care. Bulbasaur says, "I could see the penny drop for Father's Day."
Ding. Oh, I get it.
Rochelle Shell says, "Is there another shadow ban?" I think we're still just suffering under the consequences of the first one. Um,
So look, what we got to do is lock. I mean, this is just my theory because being a technician way back in the day, my technician brain, even though technology has evolved way beyond my capabilities, but certain principles remain true. The one telltale sign that sticks with me is people aren't being notified, especially people who tune in or used to tune in every weekend without fail, are not being told that we're going live. So that is the first, busted thing in whatever's going on here. So it's not just like a shadow ban. It's like a deliberate fuck up somewhere, system fuck up. Get it? So I don't know if it's that simple. Somebody tells me something else is like seriously transmission busted in the system. But that's just my feeling.
Could be. Um,
Katie, thanks for the roses.
Keeper of Skulls, thank you for the follow. Teej says, "Yeah, for sure." Hello, Keeper of Skulls. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. Honored to have you spend a little bit of yours with us. Keeper of Skulls says, keep being amazing and awesome." Keeper of Skulls, that's awesome. Thank you, my friend. Maria Jones, 591. Are you claiming to be a real vampire?
No, why the hell not?
I make few claims about anything. I live pretty far outside the scope of society. It does its thing, I do mine, and I move through it quietly, around it, and outside it. Generally keep to myself and don't usually make a whole lot of claims or statements about anything.
Yeah, I mean, everyday people go out there and pretend to be decent people every day. So pretend's pretense. So
And some of y'all are more bloodthirsty than us.
Yeah, if you guys want to, have a authenticity discussion, we can start there first, and then we can go off into the weeds about vampirism. But let's start there if anybody's gonna be nitpicking.
Katie says mint. Maria Jones says no thanks. No problem, Maria.
Have a good day.
We're not for everybody. But I hope you have a wonderful Sunday just the same, and thank you for stopping by.
Yep.
Terry says, "Hey guys." Hello, Terry. Welcome. Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. Maria Jones says, "God bless." Thank you, Maria Jones.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. Thank you for the kind departure.
Yeah.
Bat Anonymous says, "They are desensitizing us."
Oh, for when the shoe actually drops?
I have a deeper theory on that. If we have time, I may share it. But I'm skeptical that there will be. I'm not skeptical that there's legitimacy to the claims that there have been visiting uh, intelligent beings not of this earth, and the government has known about it for a long time. I am skeptical that there will be any kind of admission from the government or disclosure, and I've got a theory on why that is. Were you going to say something?
Just unless they upgrade all my systems, organs, etc. really don't care how it affects me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or raises my paycheck, whatever. If it doesn't improve my life at all, don't care.
Yeah.
If it doesn't degrade my life any, don't care either. So, and it seems to be doing both.
Yeah. Kim Kai says hello everyone. Hello Kim Kai. Happy Sunday to you, my friend. Jen with Jen says, the government came out about aliens being real in April 2020, but not many people noticed in 2020. Yeah, not quite, there were a few reports and admissions made that kind of flew under the radar. One of them came from Barack Obama himself.
Wasn't that the same time around that they had this? They were dealing with the spread of the COVID scare anyway, so that's why it went unnoticed because
Sure.
everybody else was talking about, I gotta get my freaking toilet paper.
Yeah.
End of the world.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
People punching each other in the face for ass wipe. Jen with Jen says, I've seen Grays as a kid, so I know for a fact they exist. I also had missing time that night. That's pretty heavy. I have had strange experiences myself, and I don't have enough information to say definitively uh, what those experiences were about. Just that they were very strange and defy description. Katie, thank you for the roses, and thank you for sharing the live stream. Teach says, right on, man. Michael asks, are you real vampires? Maggots, Michael. You're
Yes
eating
no.
maggots.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody get the reference? Come on.
I do.
I know you do.
Okay.
Terry says the black mantis is getting some laughs for Elaine.
Huh. I find some money magnetism in that.
Yeah. Terry, I think I'm missing what you're saying, my friend. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Katie, thank you. Oh, I missed it.
Finger heart.
Finger hearts.
Yep.
Claire, what's going on, Claire? Good to see you today. She says, good afternoon, DL and Father D.
Good to see you.
Likewise, Claire. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. Glad to have you here hanging out with us. Mike H83 says, God bless you.
Bless you, my friend.
Right back at you, Mike. Thank you so much, my friend. Very kind words. People just stopping by and dropping a little positivity that just kind of blows me away. Stephen O'Math says, yes, I can't wait to get turned now. Sheila McPeak says, hello, DL and Father D. Hello, Sheila.
Hello.
Pleasure to have you back in the live stream. And, these folks are so loyal. Every live stream they're here. Sheila, you're awesome. Thank you. Katie, thank you for the bears and roses. Temporis Infernum says hello. Hello, Temporis Infernum. Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. Welcome to the live stream.
I noticed that translates to roughly fire time.
Fire time. It's fire time.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Misha says, preach, Father.
I'll try not to too much.
Sad Emo Girl says, hey, I just got UT.
Is it out or
out? Maybe.
Oh, up. She corrected it.
I just got up. Oh, okay.
Well, welcome.
Have a little I Bleed Mercury with your morning, afternoon, evening coffee, whatever time it is, wherever you're at. Temporis Infernum, thank you for the follow, my friend. Kaylee Kuhn, hello. She says hi. The NH guy says, everybody got to eat.
That's true.
I think he was referring to the more pragmatic view on things that whether it is or isn't, everybody's got to pay rent and pay bills and go to work and do stuff.
The world still turns.
And if there's a deeper truth to UFOs, aliens, and the government being complicit in a cover-up, then it's been true for a long time while the world and all of us has just been doing our thing. So I don't I have a little bit of trouble understanding how disclosure, simply knowing, having confirmation that it's been true for a long time, would really profoundly change anything. I think a lot of people that are maybe a little too deep in the topic entertain the idea that with disclosure comes a whole new world, and it's ray guns and spaceships and jetpacks for everybody, and I'm not sure that
Well,
would be the outcome.
yeah, it doesn't translate like that because think of it this way: even in let's
Mhm.
for we few individuals that realize that we're not going to make very much of a bang in this world, right? Um, uh, you have people that we observe that are like got their you know pitchforks and torches and their picket signs out for even human conglomerates and big Rockefellers stuff protest. They rule the world and they shouldn't be blah 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 blah. And what happens? Nothing. So what do you think? I mean, why does anybody think that because we can't overturn any of the human overseers that we can do a damn thing about anything otherworldly? So I mean, it's
Yeah.
going to be nothing but oh crap. There's just more bosses. Fuck.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. If they can invade airspace of any sovereign nation
With impunity.
with impunity, land, sea, or air, and there's very little that can be done to stop them.
Then they're being extremely kind right now.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
For us to allow us to exist.
They haven't pulled out the magnifying glass yet.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Watch
them sizzle.
What are all these roaches around there? We need some new beaches. We need to get rid of these people.
Yeah. That Anonymous says back in the 80s there were a ton of sightings in Dutchess County. My father and I saw one of them.
Where?
That is super cool.
So that Anonymous is back east, right? I want to say, and I thought New York. Could be wrong, but Dutchess County. I'm wondering if that is also where he's from, or if he moved from there.
Uh-huh.
So if you want to shed some light on that, Anonymous.
Kaylee Kuhn says, wow, and gave us a follow. Kaylee Kuhn, thank you so much, my dear. I am glad that you found something here you feel is worthy of your time. Truly appreciate having you here. Michael says they already admitted it. Well, there have been very carefully constructed admissions. There's something there. It's an actual phenomena. It exists. We don't understand it. It appears to violate what we understand about physics. But beyond that, alien bodies, ongoing multi-decade cover-up, they've been pretty tight-lipped at best, and at worst, they've said, no, that's not true. Which, I don't know about you guys, but personally, I believe just about zero of what the government tells me. T says, but I am telling you that motherfucker right there is not real. So she's referring to a popular meme of late, a woman walking up to the front. She's on a plane, they're all on a plane, and she's totally losing her shit, pointing back at somebody that she was sitting next to and yells, that motherfucker right there is not real.
Oh my God.
And it became a whole brief internet buzz, yeah. Jen with Jen says you should watch Dr. Stephen Greer's press release on June 12th. It's very long and very enlightening. I have seen probably dozens and dozens of hours of Greer's, because going back to the 90s, he's had several press club events and countless interviews with people who served, some of them in the highest levels of government, business, military, and a lot of these people have uh, virtually spotless careers with doesn't seem like that there would be a whole lot of motivation on their part to come out with what they claim to know, putting their careers, at least putting their careers at risk. So yeah, there's a mountain of compelling testimony. And now, after the recent congressional hearing, that testimony was given by people who were put under oath, meaning that they're putting themselves in serious jeopardy if they're found to have perjured themselves. But the interesting dynamic there is that, if you guys watched the congressional hearing, there were certain pointed questions that one of the gentlemen in particular, David Grush, could not answer because he would be putting himself at risk for going to jail for violating his oath. And I haven't heard anybody mention this. Maybe somebody knows more about how these things work than I do. But if he did come out with that information, yes, he would be putting himself at risk for sure. But then it really makes the government look bad, because why would they persecute him for saying something if it were untrue? So, I don't know. Jen with Jen says maggots are Slipknot fans and gives
Yeah.
the devil horn.
Yeah, one of my favorite songs by Slipknot, Pulse
Pulse
of
of
the
the Magus.
And I knew a guy who was a very, let's say, very dangerous fellow. Um, had a tattoo on his forearm here that says "People equal shit," which is another one of my favorite Slipknot songs. So that's what that comment reminds me of.
Vampy Becky says, "Good evening, Vampy Becky." Right away, it sounds like you're our kind of people.
Right.
I think you may have stumbled into the right place. We hope. Claire says, "We all love to spend time with you all." That's
very kind.
Yeah, very kind and humbling. And all I can say, Claire, is thank you. Thank you so much. Bat Anonymous says, "I get the reference."
Talking about probably what Teach was saying.
Yeah. Bat Anonymous is a sharp one.
Well, he did make that cool mirror for us.
That's true. Yeah. Sad Emo Girl says, "Hey."
Hello.
Hello, Sad Emo Girl. I hope you're not sad today. Grateful to have you hanging out with us. Hope you're having a great Sunday. Sheila McPeak says, "My favorite people." Sheila, you are so awesome, and I am so glad to have you here. Thank you for the kind words. Energizer reminds me of the song I know. How long have you been alive for?
I'm not totally dead inside.
Coming up on 143 technically, but I wouldn't call it living. I would not even call it sleeping, because when you sleep, you dream.
Right.
Psycho Emo, who did your fangs? She is no longer a part of this world. They were a gift. Energizer says that was a genuine question, but all right. And I thought I gave you a straight up answer. Katie, thank you for the roses. Claire says no truer words have been spoken. Claire, we've covered a few topics. Was it about the UFO issue? Trent Kruger, thank you for the follow. Katie, thank you for the pandas. Gabatron, what's going on, my friend? Says, "Yo, how are you guys?" Doing fantastic, Gabatron.
Good to see you.
Shooting the breeze here on a Sunday.
Yep.
That Anonymous says New York.
That's where the Dutch county is.
Okay. Hatchet Greenwood says, "The rich get rich, the poor gets poor."
Well, that's how they engineer it. That's that old saying, "He who holds gold makes the rules."
She's not the one says, "So you are real vampires in the spooky blue flesh." Or red, we can make it red, or yellow. I hate yellow. I'll never do yellow. Teach says, "Deal, I am so proud that you got that reference." About the meme, current internet meme.
Yeah.
Sad Emo Girl says, "What's up?" Just chilling, hanging out on a Sunday with all of you good people. Hatchet Greenwood says, "Don't stand for anything, straight up." Donna Herthel said, and welcome, Donna. Pleasure to have you here again. She says, "Good afternoon. Great seeing you both again today. Had a busy work day. Happy now." Donna, that's awesome. I'm glad you can. Sounds like you're off work. Glad to have you here hanging out with us. Jen with Jen says Dr. Greer says that we know of 69 different alien species and none are hostile. That is one of the things about his assertions that I question. Uh, every living thing, now, I don't know everything, so there's my disclaimer. I could be wrong. But every living thing has to sustain itself by impinging on something else that's alive at some point, in some way, however subtle. So I'm not. There may be some that are more aggressive than others. Uh, there may be some that are more or less peaceful, wise old sages of the universe, but that none are hostile. That seems
Maybe not
a
hostile,
little
but
hard to
I'm
swallow.
sure that some of them could be usury. I mean, there's a reason why they're here, and there's a reason why that they're letting us exist, because they simply could, if we were a nuisance to them, wipe us clean off the planet, but they're not.
Squish.
So we must serve some purpose that serves them for them to let us exist. Just saying. That's my take on it.
Jen with Gems, are you aware of Project Bluebeam? I am. She's not the one says I thought vampires were not supposed to reveal themselves. These are genuine questions. I am not trying to be rude. No offense taken. She's not one. She's not the one. Not rude at all. You guys are welcome to ask us anything. So there's an interesting dynamic that we kind of play off. Vampires pretending to be humans, pretending to be vampires. And with a staggeringly small population, it's not too difficult to move about in the world these days. But yeah, Jen, I am aware of Bluebeam, Blue Book, of course, which was supposedly a cover, Paperclip, where we actually brought over German scientists, including Werner von Braun, post World War II, and him and his protege, I cannot remember her name. She's still alive.
But I know who you're talking about.
She has long, curly white hair.
Yeah.
I cannot think of her name.
I can see her face.
But they've all had very interesting things to say about the topic. Werner von Braun held that at some point there would be an engineered crisis of a alien invasion that was just an engineered theater for the purpose of a power grab. Sad emo girl says, "I'm happy."
I think that's actually kind of neat, coupled with the
Yeah,
handle.
yeah. Sad emo girl, I'm glad you're happy, and I'm glad you're happy with us.
It's like a minor triumph right there in 2 lines.
Yeah. Michaela Burns, 77, says hello. I think she meant lovelies. Michaela, thank you so much, my dear. Hello to you too. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. Glad you're here to share a little bit of your Sunday with us. Luke Migliaccio says, what are you doing?
Perfect time.
Just hanging out, my friend.
Station identification.
Hanging out and shooting the breeze. In fact, since it looks like we have a few new people here, I agree with Father DeMori. It is time for a station identification break. So if you are new here and you're wondering what the hell's going on, I am DL Mercury, guitar player and vocalist for vampy cyber metal band I Bleed Mercury out of Salt Lake City. Next to me is my dearest of friends, partner in crime, dearest of friends of many decades now. You may give your confession to Father DeMori. He is our drummer, and so much more than that, you guys have no idea. If you're into bands and artists like Manson, Nine Inch Nails, Static X, Rammstein, Sisters of Mercy, Gary Newman, Rob Zombie, and a dash of David Bowie, you will love I Bleed Mercury. You can check us out on all streaming platforms. That's Deezer, Amazon, Spotify, Apple Music, also YouTube. Check us out on YouTube. That's I Bleed Mercury Official on YouTube. We live stream here on YouTube, simultaneously on TikTok as well, every Saturday and Sunday at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
I like how Anonymous separates this, and with the periods to not to confuse people.
Uh-huh.
Speculation is it had to do with international business machines and their tech in our area and as far down as 3 Mile Island.
And that could well be because of the fact that I know it. Look, guys, conspiracy theories are not inherently untrue. That word was concocted, was invented to discredit people who wish to blow the lid on gangster shit that the government has been up to. Conspiracies are part and parcel of the human experience.
So this is kind of a gut punch to me to read this one, and I'm hoping I don't know how to. Oh God. Okay, so these two comments from Luke, um, heart wrenching. He says stage 4 cancer, brain and lung, and the next comment he says, should I stay sober? Good Lord, Luke. Okay, I'll be practical and say it like this. If that's a solid diagnosis and there are limited medical options for you, palliative care is going to, which is one of the things that they would have left for you, is going to basically medically make you not sober. Palliative care is just making sure you're not in pain. So to do that, they, have substances that are, if they were on the street, would be, you know, revoking people's sobriety chips. Okay. So that being said, I don't think I'm in any position to dictate to you how you handle something that heavy. So what I would say is you do anything that makes whatever time you have as comfortable as you can and wish. So that's my 2 cents on that. I'm so sorry that happened to you.
Likewise, Luke, I agree with everything Father DeMori said. I have nothing to add to that. It's like you peeled my skull open and peered inside. I share that sentiment exactly. Be honest with yourself about what you believe is going to allow you to squeeze the most comfort and joy out of life in the time that you have, and spend a little time contemplating that and meditating on that. And I would suggest letting that inform your decision. Um, do what you feel is going to bring you the most comfort and joy if it can be had. And we are pulling for you, Luke. Listen, everybody in the chat, will you guys please send some love, kind words of love and support to our new friend, Luke Migliaccio, in the chat. Please do this, guys. I truly appreciate it. Calling all members of the I Believe Mercury Coven who are in here at the moment. Send our friend Luke some love and support.
Yes, please.
Claire 0902 clarifies that she was referring to the UFOs topic with her previous comment. Luke, thank you for the follow, my friend. I am glad that you found something here that you feel is worthy of your time, my friend. Dollface Witchery, our dear adorable Dollface says, hiya. How you doing, Dollface? Good to see you here, my dear. I hope you are having a wonderful Sunday. Looks like you changed your profile pic. Looking gorgeous as always. Teej says, you're probably right and I'm probably wrong. Are you clowning me, Teej? Are you looking clowning me? Well, I'm not good at humility. A lot of times I really got to try, and I am trying more these days. Maybe it doesn't show. Probably doesn't. I'm probably failing in that regard, but I do try. I spend more time, I know, than I used to consciously trying to be humble and admit that I might possibly be wrong. I'm getting no feedback on you, so I'm probably failing in that regard.
No, I was just reading her next comment.
Oh. Francis Brown 205 is waving. Hello, Francis Brown. Welcome to the live stream. Teach says they let us exist because we are like The Sims and they think we're hilarious and stupid.
Hey, that's a good theory. I like it. We're their PlayStation 17. This whole planet
Yeah.
is just a console to them.
We are the NPCs.
Right.
Ashley Floyd says, bruh, is that your real teeth? Gnarly. Indeed.
Headache time.
James Carroll, thank you for the follow, my friend. Jen with Jen says they say only about 5% of aliens are hostile and negative. However, we are protected by the good ones.
That might make sense.
If that is in fact the dynamic, I hope that holds.
Right.
Because only 5%, 5% of 70 that we know of.
Hopefully those 4 or 5.
It probably only takes one that's highly motivated to cause damage.
Yeah,
right?
those 4 races. Hopefully they're not like uber powerful compared to the other 69 of them that are protecting us. Wreck right through them and come at us.
James Carroll 866 says, "My respect to the vampires. I am James Danger."
All
James,
right.
thank you, my friend. Welcome.
Danger Jimmy.
Danger
right
Jimmy.
Yeah.
And Jen, I appreciate your participating in the topic. I find it interesting and entertaining that it's a topic now that's found its way into mainstream news, and I watch it with fascination and interest, not from the perspective of hoping for disclosure. Like I said, I have my doubts about that, but I just find it fascinating watching the whole drama play out. Bulbasaur says the reason why we haven't been killed by aliens is because of Doctor Who.
And the TARDIS.
Yeah, that's I never got into the show. I know nothing. I know of it. I don't know anything about it.
I hope I don't botch this other poem, but another favorite poem of mine, I mentioned the one from Identity yesterday.
Yes. Why don't you revisit that for folks?
Oh, the one that I quoted yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh, so again, it was a guy that had dissociative identity disorder or multiple personality disorder, whichever you want to go with in the evolution of mental health diagnoses today. And the premise was, in the movie, he was going to be executed because of a murder. And him having 11 or so, or thereabouts, personalities in his head, his psychiatrist was trying to beg the judge to stay his execution because you would be killing the murderer, yes, one of the personalities, but you would be killing 11 innocent people, in effect, in the same person's head. That was his argument for a state hospital rather than execution. The interview on that that he played for the judge for evidence was a poem that the murderer in question was reciting, and it went something like this: "When I was going up the stairs, I met a man who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. I wish he'd go away."
I love that. That's holy shit.
I'm going to look up that Doctor Who poem real quick before I botch it. So if we want to continue with comments, I'll come back to it.
Sure. So that anonymous says former CIA officer John Ramirez, I've seen a few of his interviews as well, said they will show themselves in 2027. Ashley Floyd says, my confession is I love your teeth. Ashley, thank you, my dear. Truly appreciate it. I'm glad somebody likes them. I didn't always myself. I refer to them as an unsolicited gift. Kim Kai, thank you for the hearts and bears. Katie, thank you for the roses, my dear. Much appreciated. Teej says, actually, you know what? Ashley, that was a lovely compliment, and that gets a screenshot. We take screenshots, guys, of some of your cooler comments for use in future music videos.
Okay, so I found the Doctor Who poem. Okay, so the second poem, my other favorite poem, and it's from that show. There's this guy, and he's like rocking back and forth in the fetal position, sitting up in a cell, and he's just like this, almost like irritated with his ears, and then he just kind of maniacally starts whispering towards the wall, or reciting this poem towards the wall about the Whisper Men. right? And it goes something like this. It says, "Do you hear the whisper men? The whisper men are near. If you hear the whisper men, then turn away your ear. Do not hear the whisper men, whatever else you do, for once you've heard the whisper men, they'll stop and look at you." Yeah, man. Whoa. Yeah, and the way, and because he broke the fourth wall when he says they'll stop and look at you. Okay. Yeah. So
wow,
when you start hearing them, the idea is, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, because the minute they know you can hear them, they sense that you're there because they're in a different plane of existence, and that's the only way they can sense you is if you pick up on it.
There's a scene that kind of
which nods to why he's trying to fuck up his or reciting the poem over and over again so he can't hear anything else.
Right. Yeah. There's a scene in the book that I wrote in the book that I'm writing that ties into our music. That is that the scene plays out eerily similar to that. That is weird.
Oh.
I'll show it to you at some point. Remind me.
Yes, I would love to see it. So Bulbasaur, for what's worth, that poem was shot your way, man.
Teej says, first of all, I agree with everything you're saying. I think she's still clowning me.
Yes, sweet little brat.
Well, I like to think that's an improvement. I think there was a time it was, no, you're wrong. La 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 la.
Yeah, or found it. I don't care if you're wrong. It could be very, very much worse. So no worries.
Simon George says, afternoon all. Welcome, Simon, our brother Simon. Hope you're having a great Sunday, my friend. Hey, if you have suggestions on ways that I can improve, I'm all ears.
Not me.
I have a whole lot of experience in humility. It doesn't come natural to me. Katie says, that's a very lovely thing to say, Padre, about Luke. You're right. Bless.
Thank you.
Vampy Becky sending love and support from the UK.
I think that's for Luke.
For Luke, yeah. And folks sending Luke love and support. Thank you, my friends. Let's shower Luke with some good vibes. And whether it's prayer, meditation, whatever you do to connect with something larger than yourself, let's send that energy his way.
And so I'm also picking up on messages that Simon is not doing well either. He says, woke up with huge migraine, shakes, sweating, etc. So send some love Simon's way as well because he doesn't seem well. That sucks, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Are you across the pond, or are you here, or where are you? Did you catch a bug in your travels, or what's going on, man?
Outen He says, great to see you both. Much love. Outen He, thank you so much, my friend. Good to see you here again. OG goes back to when I was first starting the live streams. Cool. Tej, DL still giving himself a headache in 2023 by tapping his teeth. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to knock that shit off. 8 Mile Kyle says, happy Sunday. 8 Mile Kyle, thank you, my friend. Welcome to the live stream.
Alan, thanks for the roses.
Look at 8 Mile Kyle's kitty.
Yep. Tabby.
Looking to get into some trouble, it looks like. Jen with Jem says, no, 5% of aliens that exist anywhere, none that we have contact with are hostile. Well, fingers crossed, that's true.
Yeah.
Or appears to be true, but is a deception or a misinterpretation. We can only hope because it appears that they can do whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want to do it. Jen with Jem says aliens created humans as an experiment, and that's why we are protected and they rarely interfere. Jen, you kind of touch on something that I have not heard really discussed before. Oftentimes, the argument of the skeptic is, why would such a fantastically advanced species want to visit a planet full of barely evolved monkeys? You know, we're always at war. There's so much conflict and strife, so much ignorance in this world, and that's there's an inconsistency in the argument of the skeptic. Maybe they're right. I'm just going to point out an inconsistency in their argument. What?
No, I just God, there was a Russian novel about aliens and alien visitation, but it went something like this: we were just like a rest stop for them. They parked the freaking alien ships. They dumped all their garbage out the frickin' sides of the ships and then took off. And these places that the aliens dumped their garbage, which had, I mean, these physics bending qualities that were like, this is a very crude description of it because the book's not fresh in my mind, but it left the impression of like, say, spent fuel rods of this intergalactic vessel, and if you weren't careful, these scavengers that would actually go into these areas and bring back useful items for humans to reverse engineer or use as practical items, whatever that was, you'd have the danger if you walked too close or didn't know what you're walking in on, you could just, it's say it was something that increased gravity by a certain radius by the factor of 10, you'd walk into that field and flat, you just get flattened and crushed by your own weight because this thing that was spent that used to have a higher purpose, more force to it, is dead, but to us still very dangerous.
Sure.
Right? And there was nothing really about the aliens in this book, but they were a side note to this guy who made his living not getting killed by traversing this garbage heap that these aliens have. So I was just thinking, similarly in speculation of another possibility, and this is just me being flippant, trying to like explore my logic systems here. It doesn't mean that I believe this, but I said, wouldn't it be ironic that, have you ever been at like a shit job, and they're like, hey man, will you clean up that back room? It's still fucking cluttered with all that shit, and no one's tackled it. So it's your assignment, DL, to go clean up that warehouse. You're like, man, God, I don't want to freaking do that. Take a team, take whoever you need to, and get that place cleaned up. And you procrastinate, and weeks go by, 2 weeks go by, and the boss like, hey man, have you cleaned that up yet? Maybe they're just circling, waiting to freaking do the janitorial job, and they just want to get their hands dirty,
Sure.
reformatting the planet.
Mm-hmm. Sweet Butterfly Kisses, thank you for the butterflies. I forgot where I was going. I'll see if I can grab a hold of it later. That could well be the case.
Crap, did I crash?
No. And I'm sure it was way more interesting than what I had, so it's all good.
Sorry.
No. Stop. I'll kill you. Laura Ann Cantone, thank you for the follow. Sorry, my friend.
You're good, brother.
Sam says hi. Hello, Sam. Welcome to the live stream. Michelle Bowers Guard says interesting poem.
Yeah, I love it. I love them both, actually. I mean, I love poetry, period, and I've written some myself. But those are the types of poems that give me inspiration when I write poetry or lyrics. So.
Lil Honey 1974-1 says salutation. Love your contacts and teeth. Lil Honey, thank you so much, my dear. Truly appreciate it. Welcome to the live stream. Pleasure to have you hanging out with us here in the I Bleed Mercury Coven. Bulbasaur, Peter Capaldi, that I believe fantastic Scottish accent.
I think he's talking about the actor that was reciting that poem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Michelle Bowers Guard says, I love the explanation before the poem, then I get it. Out and he says, thank you for continuing to be such a beautiful light in my life. I always look forward to these. That for sure gets a screenshot. Thank you so much, Out and he. Absolutely adore you. Thank you, Sweet Butterfly Kisses, and Katie for the roses. Cat's Beautiful Things in the house says, hello, guys. XXX. Cat, thank you so much, my dear. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. Glad to have you hanging out with us. That's a big thing with me. Time is a precious resource to me, my most valuable resource. You don't get any of it back, and the fact that you guys spend a little bit of your time with us is something I'm immensely grateful for. Teach says, sorry, DL. Sorry for what, my dear? Don't be sorry.
Oh,
you have nothing to be
because
sorry
she was teasing you, probably.
Hey, I am fair game for anybody, so don't hold back, my friends. Devil Zabby says, hi, sire, hi, father. Sorry I missed last night's live. I was in hospital all week.
Uh-oh.
Devil Zavi, I hope you're doing better. I
No,
I don't
we'd
want to.
assume that since you're here, hopefully. 'Cause,
Yeah, yeah. I'm not going to pry into your personal affairs, but I hope you are feeling better.
mm,
And like you said, that's probably the case since uh, Devil Zavi is here and not in the hospital. So we're pulling for you for a speedy recovery.
right.
Mama Christie says he's in Illinois still.
Oh, let's talk about Simon.
Okay.
Oh, crap. So we might have caught a travel bug or something, man.
Yeah.
That sounds like some kind of poisoning or a bad infection.
Yeah.
God.
Out and he, thank you for the roses, my dear. Cat's beautiful thing saying hey to Teach. Winter, yes, I remember you yesterday coming in the live stream. Winter, welcome, my friend. Good to have you back. Cat's beautiful thing says, I agree with that. Lil Honey 1974 says, I would love to meet a gray. I have so many questions that need answers.
Right.
Why are we here? Why is the sky blue? Why does my jaw click sometimes when I chew?
And and bless the Greys that have to field that question, right? Because they're like, hey, look, lady, we just built the spaceships, okay? That's as far as we've gotten to answering the frickin' questions of the universe. We're still looking for that one. I'm sure might be their answer. You know what I mean?
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Did you have anything
Nope.
more?
No. Hit it.
Yeah, so an inconsistency that I see in the argument of okay, first of all, whether you believe or disbelieve, it's possible to get too far in the weeds where you've stepped into the realm of somebody who I know and love and respect very much, uh, refers to as contempt prior to investigation. Ultimately, our access to the facts is hindered, and uh, I would say that the true believers may not necessarily be wrong. The skeptics may not necessarily be wrong. We'll see. More will be revealed. But an inconsistency in the skeptics' argument is they say, on one hand, that it's not realistic to imagine that such an advanced race would visit such a primitive planet. But they also say that in all of the history of scientific advances in astronomy, there is nothing to suggest that there's anybody out there in the neighborhood or beyond. So if Earth and life on Earth is such an astounding rarity, then actually that would make Earth a very interesting target for research by a advanced species. So whether you know you can make the argument that we're all still very uh, low on the evolutionary ladder, and that we have a lot more evolving to do from a pure research standpoint, research being done into something that's interesting, something that's rare, something you don't find very often. If it's true that Earth and life on Earth is not common, then that would inherently make us um, it would not be unlikely, I would think, that a more advanced species would show up and check things out. Anyway, that's all I got. Cat's Beautiful Thing says they do visit. Cat's Beautiful Thing says I've seen alien craft many times.
Those people are so lucky because I mean, I would love to just like, honest to the gods, see something not like out of the corner of my eye. I thought I saw, ooh, in the in between could be a meteor. Fuck, what was that? I want inexplicably like this is being flippant, but a star destroyer fly over my house.
Yeah, something that was
oh shit,
undeniably
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, fucking bumper sticker that says "fuck you." What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I'm kidding, but I want something that to my mind doesn't have to be that flippant and stupid, but something that would leave no question that I saw something.
Yeah.
And that brain splinter of if it is or if it isn't is gone now.
Right. Right. We break for mutilated cattle.
Right.
Bat Anonymous says, I'm working on a book too. Working title is Self-Loathing and Humor.
Self help for the self help for the introvert. Love it.
Cody Lale 31 says robots. I wonder if he's referring to the belief that the Greys are like bioengineered androids.
Well, or if that, or if what we see as the Greys is a suit,
Yeah.
husk
Yeah.
of some sort.
Bacon Dive and welcome back, Bacon Dive. Good to have you here again. Says hello, fellas. Hope all is well. Likewise, Bacon Dive. Hope you're having an awesome Sunday. Glad to have you here with us. Wicked Twisted Sister, thank you for the follow. That's almost a tongue twister. Solarhead, welcome back, Solarhead. Pleasure to have you here. Good to see you, my friend. Cody Lale 31 says that's what they are, robots. Sweet Butterfly Kisses says happy Sunday. Butterfly Kisses, thank you, my dear. Hope your Sunday is going well. Hope you had a great weekend. And thank you for the butterflies, my dear. Truly, truly appreciate the gifts and kind words. Penny, what's going on, Penny? She says, hey y'all, how's it going? Just chilling, hanging out with all of you good people, Penny. Hope you're having a great Sunday. Nippy Tuber Exploration says, you're still playing music, right? Indeed we are, my friend. Working on new music as well. Jen with Gem says, I'm new to TikTok. How does sending a bunch of likes on a live help the person who is live? So my research says that tapping the screen and sending likes uh, gives your live stream a boost, making it more visible to other people. We are currently apparently under a shadow ban, so I'm not sure if likes will help us or has no effect at all. I'm really not sure. I wish I had a clear answer. Matthew says, hey there, friends. Hope your Sunday is going absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Matthew. Likewise. Hope you're having an awesome Sunday, my friend. Thank you for stopping by.
I could have swore he was here either last week
He
or
was,
yesterday.
yeah.
Something.
Nippy Tuber Explorations, thank you for the follow, my friend. Katie, thank you for the roses. Katie going mad on the roses today. Sweet Butterfly Kisses, thank you for the hearts. Cat's Beautiful Thing says, smoking a blunt, chilling. Cynthia Cox says, hi, babe. Hello, Cynthia. Welcome to the live stream. Pleasure to have you with us. Bat Anonymous says, nothing I would rather do than spend time here.
Oh man, thanks, buddy.
Bat Anonymous, you are freaking awesome, my friend.
You're good, bro. Don't even worry about it.
That gets a screenshot. Michelle Bowers Guard says or asks, can you do one more explanation of another poem?
Ooh. Crap. I'm drawing a blank. I'll try and think of one before the end of the live. Yeah.
I like a lot of Poe stuff, but that's
But I mean, there's good lyrics too.
Yeah.
Trigger Happy Jack's is a cool tune for lyrically.
Bat Anonymous says drink water from Mexico. I think referring to either Simon or that
he got sick one time. Shoot.
Apple user, thank you for the follow. Devil's Avi says, thank you. Had an accident dirt biking, but I have my boyfriend running around after me. Well, I am glad that you are on the mend, Devil's Abbey. And hey, if you're, I don't know, if you're going to endure an injury, it should be while you're doing something fun.
Well, and you have somebody there taking care of you too. That's good.
You don't want to do it while you're walking upstairs. Just saying.
Or bouncing downstairs or whatever.
Matthew says, love you guys bunches.
Thanks,
Matthew,
man.
that gets a screenshot. Thank you, Matthew, so much for the kind words. You are freaking awesome, my friend. Nippy Tuber Exploration says, what is your best instrument? Favorite or the one we're most competent on?
Yeah, because that you bring up an interesting point because that shifts for me. I feel that my one that I've spent the most time developing and most comfortable with is drums. I feel like I have an affinity for composition more on bass, and I also feel that I have the most fun, well, uh, singing edges out bass guitar on the enjoyment, but just barely. And when I do both, that's 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 my favorite if I can pull it off. I don't try and attempt things that are beyond my range because those are not my main weapons.
Uh-huh.
Uh, but if I can do both, like I can play bass and sing a few Nine Inch Nails songs without too much of a departure, but actually not even a departure, actually addition to a lot of Nine Inch because there are no bass lines a lot in Nine Inch Nails songs. They're all lower keyboard stuff that I supplement compositionally. So anyway, that's the answer for me.
Um, I am most competent on guitar, but my favorite instrument, it, it really depends on the song. The song will, and the inspiration that underpins that song having come into being, will dictate the role each instrument should play, ideally. But, you know, musicians are often a little cuckoo, and we have egos, and sometimes and I know I'm guilty of this, the muse says one thing, and we have other ideas. Ultimately, my goal these days is to serve the song, and maybe that means a section of the song where there's no guitars. Maybe it means it's just being carried by a bass line. It really just depends. But it should be dictated by the music, ideally. That's my view on it, but I'm probably wrong.
No, I think it's good.
Solarhead says, "I believe they live on the moon, on our moon." And Cat's Beautiful Thing says there has been loads of evidence. There have been some very interesting pictures uh, of the moon that have been released that seem to suggest structures that don't appear to be the result of natural process.
Well, I mean, as far as the moon goes, right? I've always found it curious, and this may sound tinfoil hattish, but just think of it logically as far as the chances of this occurring. When you have a lunar eclipse, wait, if I got that backwards, solar eclipse is when the moon in front of the sun, right? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So a solar eclipse, you have the sun and the moon going identically like this. From the distance of the moon, from when an observer from the planet Earth will see a solar eclipse, there's not a rim around it. There's not a whole lot of overlap. It's almost perfectly poof. What are the chances? If the moon was a smaller diameter, it'd be like this, and you'd have a bullseye flashlight coming down on the planet, or a big one where you have an eclipse and it takes a while for the moon to move over, and then the sun comes out again. It's not. It's like perfectly covered, then not.
Uh-huh.
Right? Any other moon, any other satellite in another planet, in any other part of the universe, doesn't have that exact quality. And what are the chances on this life-born planet that that happens
Yeah,
naturally?
that's an interesting point.
Highly unlikely, I'd say. Just a thought.
Yeah, yeah, I never thought of that. Nippy Tuber Exploration says, okay, this can go towards the Anunnaki. There's an interesting report uh, from military service members that had very strange and actually deadly encounters with something that they claim over in Afghanistan, something that they claim were giants living in caves that were just rampaging and slaughtering their way through military forces. So I think there is a lot about this world that the average person has no clue about, may not ever, but I think we know far less than we think we do. Cat's Beautiful Thing says solar, they are inside the moon. Yeah, that's another. theory, allegation that there's bases on the moon that have existed for millennia, above and below ground.
So, all right, there was a psychiatry book, psychology book, written that had done studies on various people. Some people were like, people had different degrees of mental illness, um, had done some horrible things in their life, and was analyzed afterwards. And one of them was Buzz Aldrin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Buzz Aldrin's commanding officer on the Moon project told this psychiatrist or psychologist that was interviewing him that Buzz Aldrin had the composure of a man likened to a tank at rest. Nothing could bother him, nothing could phase him, and if he wanted to move, he moved, and not a lot of anything could stop him once he had purpose. Right? They said when he came back from that mission from the moon, he was shaking like a frickin' leaf, and he wouldn't talk to anybody for days afterwards. He isolated himself. It was all fucked up. Alluded to it had something to do with it, but he wouldn't speak of it.
He has alluded to it since.
Carefully, right?
But yeah, and you're right. He is one tough motherfucker. It's been within the last 10 years, so he was still definitely not a young man. And he was confronted. There's video of this. I don't know if it's been scrubbed from the internet, but I have watched the video where he was confronted by a conspiracy theorist who contends that the moon landing did not happen. And this guy gets in Buzz Aldrin's face and calls him out, and then follows it up by calling him a liar. You're a liar. And Buzz Aldrin lays him out. Lays him the fuck out.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's funny. Because, I mean, the description I just gave you of Buzz Aldrin from his former commander, that's not a surprise.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude done fucked up.
Yep.
Bad.
Yep. He found out.
Yeah. Quick style.
Yeah.
Caught some hands.
Tej says, can open. Worms everywhere. Cat's Beautiful Thing says, it's crazy. OMG, the things I've seen, not just me, but friends have. I have seen things that I couldn't explain, but I'm not sure anything that was that couldn't be explained, through, didn't have some sort of pedestrian, mundane, prosaic explanation. But I could be wrong. But I have had some experiences that may have constituted something fantastic beyond mundane explanation. Matt Anonymous says, Father D, seeing it is very disconcerting.
So I can imagine. Look, if I saw something like that, yeah, it would shake me to my core, I'm sure. But it also, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, since you've been there. I think on some level it would give me some peace. I mean, it's an ongoing question in almost every human being's mind. Are we alone in the universe, right? So that would be answered. I had a hard enough time when they had I think it was the new fighter jet flew directly over the building I was in. It was like right during around the Pioneer Day celebration here, and they were gearing up for some air show, but these assholes pulled a Maverick. Can I buzz the tower? Negative. And they did it anyway. They went over this building, and the building had one pane glass panels.
Where was this at?
I'd rather not say.
Okay.
But it frickin' rattled them. I mean, it, and this jet is gotta be hundreds, if not maybe close to 1,000 feet above me. But because of the noise and the power of this jet, when it went over, and I was standing on a balcony. The building is behind me, and it came over my head. So, boom! And all I did was I ducked. The jet engines are nowhere near going to hit me in the face, but the power of the noise made me instinctually want to hit the ground.
It was so loud and
Yeah,
sounded so close.
and by the time I flinched and came back around like this, I was already hitting the mountains and banking, which was like miles away. It was just short of a sonic boom, and I remember all the windows rattling. And like when you have like a stereo that's too powerful, like rattling the whole building, all the building.
Wow.
Yeah, so an alien ship has got to be exponentially worse. You know what I mean? In its awesome effect on you.
Apparently, in the late 80s to early 90s, some of the more sensitive operations allegedly going on at S4 near Area 51 were moved to Dugway, which is just a few miles from
Almost
here.
where we used to play shows. Actually, those Dugway boys came out and kicked us out one time with automatic weapons because we were too close to their base.
I believe it.
Playing out in the desert with the death metal show.
Yeah.
They said cease and desist and move right now. We did exactly that.
And I cannot confirm nor deny that I may or may not know anything about that.
Right. I may just be making it up.
Because one thing is for sure, guys, if I knew something, there is no impetus for me to say anything. I would keep my mouth shut. Sorry to to disappoint anyone, but that's smoke I don't need. Solarhead says, me and my friend had a close encounter with a massive black triangle in the early 90s.
Ooh.
That reminds me of the Phoenix Lights incident.
Mm-hmm.
Even the governor, Fife Symington, saw it.
Yikes. First name, holy crap. Poor guy.
Yeah. Jen with Jen says, I've seen an alien ship right outside my bedroom. It woke me up by shining super bright lights. I'll go as far as to say that I may have had a similar experience. That's about all I can say. In the interest of intellectual honesty, I'm not sure what I saw. Cat's Beautiful Thing says, what we saw was a bright light just stable in the sky, and then it just shot off with high speed. Yeah, Cat, Jen, you guys have seen amazing things. I wish I could say definitively that I have. It would be really cool. Paige Lawson Lynch, thank you for the follow. Jen with Jen says, pretty sure it was the same ones that took me 3 years prior checking up on me. Whoa, Jen, that blows my mind. Jen, I'm curious if you've ever had any kind of hypnotic regression to get more insight into those experiences. Cat's Beautiful Thing says, I was visited by a gray when I was a child. Very interesting, guys. Very, very interesting. What's
the next comment I'm just laughing at?
Paige Lawson Lynch says, whatever you have on your lips is making me stare at them. By design, Paige. Okay, I need to bring down the theater a little bit. Cat's Beautiful Thing says, I was 7. Oof. Karen 100% says, good evening. Good evening, Karen.
Good
Welcome
evening.
to the live stream. Cat's Beautiful Thing says, I was moved out the house and then back again. It was weird. I'm 53 now. Kat, I pose the same and still see them, she says. I'll pose the same question to you that I did to Jen if you've ever had any kind of hypnotic regression. It'd be very interesting to see what that may potentially uncover. Bacon Dive says, Bacon dies, we don't want bacon to die. Bacon is good.
Bacon is already dead.
Well, that's true. Says, you guys ever watch Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack? Yes.
Yes.
A family friend.
Him in his trench coat.
Yep. Was featured in an episode, actually. The UFO and Ghost episode, Spooky. Yeah, it was a great show.
Yep. And then the old Ripley's Believe It or Not on top of that.
Yep. Believe it or not. And let's see. I'm blanking on the actor's name who hosted that show.
Well, I only remember the reboot of it who hosted it. That was a guy who played the dude on Star Trek.
Was he Q on Star Trek?
No, he was the first officer,
Okay.
number one.
So, oh yeah, blanking on his name too now.
I used to know it, but it's evaporated in my memory
Yeah.
banks.
But the actor that hosted the original Ripley's Believe It or Not actually played Dracula in the 1970s.
Hmm.
Damon says, "Hi, Sire and Father D, checking in on two of my favorite people on stream." Damon, thank you so much, my dear.
Thank you.
Very kind of you. Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. Paige Lawson Lynch says, "Your lips are shiny." Yes, they do catch the light, don't they? Jessica Hilton says, "Hello, brother." Hello, Jessica.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you for the roses.
Hope you're having a great Sunday, Jessica. Glad to have you sharing your Sunday with us. Devil Zabby says, "Competition dirt biking still won, though. I had internal injuries, so fucked up my organs."
Oh, Jesus. Well, what do you say to that? At least you won? No,
Yeah.
because you don't want to. It's not like coming in first place is worth a kidney transplant. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Ease
yeah.
up.
Or I don't know, maybe it is.
I'm going to shy away from that.
While I don't want to encourage anybody to injure themselves, Damon, thank you for sharing the live stream with more than 5 friends. Very cool. Thank you so much, Damon. Bat Anonymous says, "Xylophone like Weird Al." I think referring to the Unsolved Mysteries theme.
Oh.
Cat's Beautiful Thing says, "It's for eyes, but he uses it on his lips." Yep, it's marketed as liquid eyeshadow. But, yep, use it on my lips. Nippy Tuber Exploration says, "Honestly put, I agree." Solarhead says, "I have my first gig coming up on the 8th of September in Edinburgh. Looking forward to it." Solarhead, that is awesome. Please report back. And if it will be streamed live, we'd love to catch it.
Yeah.
Sheila McPeak says,
Spending
2 hours here makes my anxiety go away. You guys are inspiration." Sheila, thank you so much, my dear, for the kind words and just the support and confirmation that we're doing something that is a net good.
Right.
Jen with Gem says, "NASA says their thrusters hitting the moon made it ring like a bell for 6 minutes, like it's hollow."
That's another.
Wow.
That's what I think. I think this was the pilot for the mission with Buzz Aldrin said. Neil. It's not. So Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and God, who was the other guy? Well, the other guy, the third one, was the one who said that. And I think it was in that same psychology book that was referring to Buzz Aldrin. That they were assessing what all the astronauts' reports were in before they focused on Buzz.
Now that's very interesting. I had not heard that before.
Yeah. So that's what that, and actually it was that exact, just what's the word I'm looking for? It was the exact piece of information that made me think, what are the chances that the moon perfectly covers the sun as it passes by?
Sheila McPeak says, "I just saw a video. This guy's had proof no one really walked on the moon." Yeah, that's another popular theory that I have heard, that the moon landing was faked. I think it probably really happened. I think that there was some doctoring of footage, and allegedly, according to Stephen Greer, there was some backup B-roll footage that was prepared in order to splice in if things got a little dicey, as the footage was being beamed back to Earth and people were watching it.
So are you done with that, daughter?
Mm-hmm.
So that just triggered a theory of mine. So maybe a hybrid is closer to the truth. So if you rewind your mind back to the history of that era, it was during the Cold War with Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Sputnik had been launched.
Right.
Americans panicked about it. So we, kicked it in high gear as far as the space program. Kennedy is all about it, right? Mm-hmm. And then we get up there and let's entertain this idea. We got our rushed technology trying to transmit the images back to Earth that we land. Half of them get through, half of them don't. And the half that get through isn't enough to prove that we landed there, so we can't plant our flag there in case the Russians come next. So we have to make it look like we got there because the astronauts are pissed because they did get there, and Buzz is mad because he can't fucking prove it.
Right.
Right? You imagine what a kick in the ass that'd be to do something historical and no one's gonna know because you
Right.
can't prove it.
Right.
Right? So the eggheads at the government have it covered. We're gonna, like I said, cover you guys. And I'm sure the astronauts come home sick to their stomach, wishing that they didn't have to be covered in that
Right.
manner.
Right.
But we have to fight off the Russians as far as claims to the moon if they ever get there.
Sure.
So
Sure.
it's America's moon now,
Sure.
right?
That pre-prepared B-roll footage would serve a dual purpose of not only proving that we went to the moon, but could also be spliced in if the footage, if the camera revealed something beyond.
What we could handle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rochelle is back. Katie, Cat's Beautiful Thing says aliens are inside the moon. If I ever get my mitts on a spaceship, I'm going there to find out for sure. Damon says you're right, Father D.
What I was right about. It's okay.
Probably everything.
But no.
What?
Yeah,
No.
absolutely not.
Jen with Gem says they said they think it's a metal hollow ball.
Oh.
The moon.
Yeah.
Raven is in the house. Says, hey, what's going on, Raven, my dear? Got any tackle hugs for us today?
I think it's a different Raven, my friend.
Oh, is it?
Because the Raven is with a Y.
Oh, that's right. Hello, Raven. Or she could have changed her handle. It has changed over the months.
Well, but she doesn't say anything about tackle.
That's right. Yeah.
That's typically that's how she makes her entrance.
We could have two Ravens in our sphere. That Anonymous says also the fact that the moon is locked where we only see one side.
Yeah.
That's right. Geosynchronous orbit.
Constant, like never rotates even an inch.
Yep.
That's got to be near impossible or extremely rare.
Yeah. Gem with Gems, which would support aliens being inside it, using it for a place to watch us closely. And Kat chiming in, that's correct, Jen. User Anon says, military keeping it a secret. What about zombies? I am not too concerned about a zombie apocalypse. At least if zombies thrive on brains, we're not in danger of a zombie apocalypse. This is the great zombie famine.
And I was about to say, this is maybe bad taste, but the last zombies that ever walked the earth were created by Jeffrey Dahmer. So, I mean, nothing that a satellite, a crashed satellite, or hell filling up is gonna, happen, in my opinion.
Right. Cat's Beautiful Thing says American military are disclosing it all now. It could be that we're seeing the dam break, but listen, this is just a theory. I could be wrong. There was allegations made or alluded to during the recent congressional hearing about funding. How are UFO crash retrieval programs and disinformation programs and probably wet works programs to shut people up who are a little too yappy, how is all of this funded? And it was alluded to that there are funds that have been earmarked for legitimate defense contractor programs that have been diverted into these crash retrieval disinformation programs. And while I don't doubt that that's possible, I would almost expect that. That would constitute only a fraction of the necessary budget. The budget for a program like this, multi-decade program, would just be astronomical in cost. And it has been suggested for many decades now. In fact, there is the Sean Ryan podcast had a gentleman on there, a Mexican journalist, who's been able to, over the years, gain the trust of various cartels and what I'm getting at is that it's been suggested for many, many years now that various three-letter agencies are involved in the illegal drug trade, in the arms trade, and in the human trafficking trade. And so when you start pulling on the thread of how the UFO cover up, crash retrieval, and backwards engineering program is funded, it, it eventually leads to things that constitute some of the most high and outrageous crimes that the average person could imagine. And I think that in 2023, there's less what they call ontological shock about the disclosure and confirmation of visitation of intelligent beings not of this earth than there is, holy shit, this thing has been funded because rogue elements of government, military, business, finance, all of the competing three letter agencies have been involved in some of the most wretched businesses that you can imagine and using those funds to in part fund these programs. And those motherfuckers do not want to go to jail, which they most certainly would if their crimes were ever brought to light. So there is a great deal of motivation on their part to keep this thing tightly wrapped because pulling on one thread leads to another, leads to another, leads to another, which cannot be allowed to happen. And you have people in very high places that are complicit in all of this that do not want their crimes ever brought to light. And there may be people that have a knowledge of these operations and complicity in things like the arms trade, drug trade, human trafficking, that while they may be, let's say, fairly honorable, noble, altruistic people, they see that, for one thing, they're putting their lives at risk by talking about it. And second, they probably believe, like I think this is uh, a legitimate argument, that the shock to the system that rogue elements of the government and military are involved in arms trade, human trafficking, drug trade, I think that would be a much greater shock to the system than, yeah, there's aliens. I think that would be more shocking. I think a lot of people these days accept that alien visitation is at least feasible, but you start cracking open the truth regarding how these things have been getting their funding, and that's a lot more shocking because it calls into question the legitimacy of government itself, and
Can't have that.
can't have that. And when you
It make
know
people
that,
disappear for that.
that's right, and when you consider that there is complicity and involvement uh, of people who serve at the highest levels of government and military and intelligence agencies and in the intelligence community, man, I just don't see any of that coming to light. And if you pull on the UFO crash retrieval back engineering funding thread, it potentially leads into those areas. So I don't know. I'm skeptical that we'll ever have definitive confirmation, but I could be wrong. Anyway, that's just my theory. Bulbasaur says in Doctor Who they said that the moon is an egg for a moon dragon, another Peter Capaldi episode.
Yep, I remember seeing that one too.
Cat's Beautiful Thing says, I saw that. Shar Bendroy. Shar, let me know how to correctly pronounce your name, my dear.
Now again, if it's like the old, like a Celtic spelling for vowels, it could be Sharbandri.
Bandry?
Yeah.
Okay. Shar says, hello there, Shar. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. Mama Christie with the time check got a blaze through this.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Boy, it went fast.
Yeah, it sure did, especially today, more so than yesterday. User Anon says, are zombies real? Is the government keeping that a secret?
Nope, I think people are just doing too many bath salts these days, maybe.
Shar, thank you for sharing the live stream. John Capio says, hello, everybody. Hello, John. Welcome to the live stream. Pleasure to have you here. Hope you're having a great Sunday. Mystery says, hello from New Mexico. A lot of UFO activity in New Mexico. Mystery, thank you for the follow.
That's funny. The blank. I like it. No, you don't. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Even though even the correction is there, I like to think that it's just both.
Yeah. Jen with Gem says, I haven't had hypnotic regression, but I'd like to. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
New York Purple Bear, thank you for the follow. Bacon Dive, in 2000, a guy from my hometown saw a UFO and was on a Discovery Channel documentary about UFOs.
Oh, cool.
That is really interesting. Send me the link if you can find it. New York Purple Bear says, hello from New York. Purple Bear, thank you so much, my dear. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. Raven, so you were correct. And I hope I wasn't like you were wrong and I'm right.
No.
I mean, my default is you're probably right and I'm probably wrong.
No, I just noticed the difference is all.
Raven, tackle hugs, Mission Impossible style. Flattening fools. Raven, my dear, welcome to the live stream. Pleasure as always. I got your messages yesterday on Instagram, and I will respond later. Thank you for all the information about that. Very valuable information. Raven is pursuing a career in medical coding and seems to have a really good path to that goal. So anybody interested in that, reach out to Raven because I think she's got it dialed in. If you're interested in a career change and making more money, that doesn't involve doing something that's going to get you thrown in jail. Mystery says Roswell. Reminds me of the excellent Hypocrisy song Roswell 47. Raven says, trying a nearby beach I haven't been to, way nicer than where I would go. I've always viewed the East Coast just in my mind, having never been there, as being really cold. But I suppose, well, I mean, current heat wave, it's probably warm wherever beach you go to. Send pictures. I'd like to see. I so missed the beach. I took it for granted. Tina says, good evening. Tina, good evening to you, my dear. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you for the follow. Ratchmish says, please scream for your entire live. I am a little rough in the throat. I'm going to give myself a break. Maybe one of these days I'll scream for you guys. This gentleman here has a set of pipes you wouldn't believe.
I get rambunctious on occasion.
On occasion.
On occasion.
Solarhead says there is a hypnotic life regression on YouTube. They also have tons of guided astral projections. That Anonymous says Jonathan Frakes.
Yep, that's who it was.
Number one.
Damn.
Katie, thank you for the roses. Raven says, hope it's cooler today for everyone, even by a little. Pretty damn warm here, for sure. Reboot.
Let's see. Claire says, I'm back. Glad you're still on. Welcome back, Claire. Jen with Jim says, watching Unsolved Mysteries, Rescue 911 and Rescue 911 helped me to be prepared while inside Columbine on 4/20/99. Oof. Yeah, I guess going through that, you gotta, I don't know, have all the help you can get in a situation that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Jen, you are a warrior and a survivor writ large. I can't imagine what that experience was like. I remember when we heard it on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are a Valkyrie in my book. TH says 25 minutes left, lads. Actually, it's, 6 minutes left in the live stream, guys. This one just flew by. Solarhead says, Greer Harris, an app that teaches you how to use your mind to contact aliens. That's right. I forget the name of it. I think it's free. Jim with Jim says some say that NASA cut the live comm from Buzz when he said they were being watched by beings nearby. That's right. I think there is actually audio of that. Jen says beings across the crater from Buzz. Pseudovision, hello to you, my friend. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. Raven says, nope, still here. I want to see, well, I wanted to see beach pics, but it just makes me sad and miss the beach even more. Michelle Bowers Guard, Father D, I could listen to your facts all day. Very interesting.
I, I hope I keep my facts or what I think I remember straight. Sometimes I get things crossed, but I do try and make sure I recall what I can recall accurately. So appreciate it.
5 minutes left in the stream, guys. Sad Emo Girl says, I'm back. Welcome back, Sad Emo Girl. Glad to have you back. I'm glad this is a place you want to be. Solarhead, I watch Bruce Sees All YouTube channel. He uses a high-powered telescope showing UFOs on the moon. Bruce Sees All. I'll have to check that out. I will check that out. Pseudovision, I've just been on live TV talking about UAPs. I've seen one up close. That is super cool. Send me the link to the TV clip. I would like to see that. Solarhead, I've always been in UFOs after my encounter when I was younger. Sharon Benincasa, are you a vampire? In the words of Armand, nothing, if not vampires. Fat Anonymous says $500 for a toilet seat is where the money comes from.
Talking about the government spending.
I think that's part of it, but when you consider all of the things that would be necessary for funding a program like this, I think it goes way beyond that. I think it goes into black hat, black market, deep.
$500 for a toilet seat better be because it is that, CIA Mission Impossible black project toilet seat. If someone tries to assassinate you while you're taking a shit, you can quick disconnect that thing and block bullets with it. It's made out of Kevlar or something. That's all I have to say about that. It's the only thing that would justify the cost.
Or chuck it like American Captain America's shield.
Right.
Christine says, hi from Michigan. Hello, Christine. Good to have you back. Rochelle, bahaha, DL, about your comment about the zombies. No brains. No brains here. Time check. Got about 3 minutes left. Robin L796. Lip gloss? No, it is marketed as liquid eyeshadow. It's from the brand Mynina. You can get it for about $4.99 on Amazon. And I use it on my lips because it's blue and shiny. Cynthia Geronimo, welcome back. Good to have you here, my dear. She says, hello, my beautiful vampire. That is very sweet of you, Cynthia. That gets a screenshot. Aussie Mama is back. Says, hey, what's going on, Aussie Mama? Hope you're having a wonderful day. Rochelle, wait, you mean the government has made people disappear? No, not our government. LOL, being a smartass. Indeed. There's nothing they won't do. Katie, thank you for the hearts. Kai says, hope you guys are having a magical Sunday. Thank you, Kai. Truly appreciate it. It has been an awesome Sunday. Christina Koitoikas says, hey, been a while. Christina, welcome back. Good to have you here. We are getting ready to shut down, but we are here on TikTok and YouTube every Saturday and Sunday at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You got us for 2 hours. Cynthia Geronimo, love watching both of you. Still think you're beautiful. Cynthia, you are amazing. Screenshot. Thank you so much, Cynthia, for the kind words and support. Raven loves 621. Not this Raven. Looks like so 3 different Ravens in the house. Cozy24, thank you for the follow. Loki, our brother Loki, we were wondering what was going on with you, my friend.
Makes the jump shot at the 2-minute warning already. Barely made it in here.
Raven Love, not in Northern Cali, it got hotter.
Loki says, my radio station's up and running. Hell yes.
That is
Tell
freaking
us
awesome.
how to listen. Please do.
Yes, please, Loki. Bacon Dye, the UFO was the basis for a song by Sufjan Stevens concerning the UFO sighting near Highland, Illinois. Francis Brown says, follow me. Sheila McPeak says, hope everyone has a nice night. Pseudovision, thanks guys. Thank you, Pseudovision. Gem with Gem. Gem says, you guys are awesome. Thanks for the last 2 hours of great conversation. Jen, you are freaking awesome. I adore you, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you for showing up to the live stream. Truly, truly appreciate it. Guys, if you are interested, we are a band. I Bleed Mercury out of Salt Lake City, Utah. We call it Vampy Cyber Metal. If you're interested, you can check out our music on all streaming platforms. That's Deezer, Apple, Amazon Music, Spotify, YouTube. I Bleed Mercury Official on YouTube. If you're into bands and artists like Manson, Nine Inch Nails, Static X, Rammstein, Sisters of Mercy, Gary Newman, Rob Zombie, and a dash of David Bowie, you will love I Bleed Mercury. Check us out. We're here every Saturday and Sunday at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You got us for 2 hours. Katie says, good night. Can't wait for the next Saturday. Been interesting topic today. Thank you, Katie. Truly appreciate it. You have a great weekend as well. Cynthia Geronimo says, you're very welcome. Well, thank you, Cynthia. Truly appreciate it. Tej, adoring and loving you as always. We will be talking with you very soon.
Bye, Tej.
Mama Christie says, love to all. Internal Chaos, Inigo Montoya.
So
you killed my
I did I tell you I used to get that a lot?
I believe it.
Yeah, especially when I take my hair down, it's a little curly too. So
Bacon Dive says, much love, guys. Have a great week. Thank you, Bacon Dive. Katie, thank you. Raven, Raven, and Raven, thank you so much. Siggy, Solarhead, I added you on Spotify and iTunes. Awesome, Solarhead. Thank you so much.
you.
It is an honor. Bat Anonymous, well, brothers, much love. Have a great week. Bat Anonymous,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Thank
We'll
you,
see you next weekend. Claire says, we love spending time with you. Awesome topics today. Claire, thank you so much, my dear. Truly appreciate it. Teej says, you're both beautiful. I love you. Bye.
Love you too.
Absolutely love it and adore you for all time. Thank you so much. Our brother Loki says, tagged you both in Discord. Thank you, my friend. We will absolutely check that out. All right, my friends of the I Bleed Mercury Coven, thank you for showing up today. Tammy, thank you for the roses. Claire, thank you for the likes. Love you from Virginia. Claire, thank you so much. Love and adore you as well, my dear. My friends, have a safe and productive week. We will see you this weekend, again, every Saturday and Sunday, 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You got us, and we got you. Love you all. You all have a great week. We'll see you this weekend. All right, friends of YouTube, that does it for us. Likewise, you all have a fantastic week, and we will see you this weekend.